Over the years there's been many strange reports. Although most of these end up getting solved, some of them remain unanswered. One interesting account is that of military soldiers that encountered a mysterious being. The story goes that back in 2002, a military unit encountered a giant being in Kandahar. American soldiers were trekking up a mountainside when they saw signs of a large being. Footsteps could be seen in the area, and so the soldiers decided to investigate to see what they could find. While looking around the mountainside, they could hear strange grunting noises. This was when they saw a large humanoid run out of a cave. They reported that the being was over 13 feet tall and had red hair. It had 6 fingers on each hand and was hostile towards the military unit. One of the men unfortunately didn't make it as he was pierced by the being's large spear. The giant was said to be dressed in animal skins. This whole mission came about because a military unit went missing in the area. This caused another unit to go looking for them. However, when they did, they ended up finding more than what they bargained for. After the soldier got pierced with a spear, it then turned its attention to the rest of the group. The others quickly fired at the giant, hitting all over its body. They continued to do this until the giant dropped to its knees. After this, the unit reported it to their superiors. They gave them clear instructions to hide the body and stay near it, ensuring that no one nearby saw what they was trying to hide. After this, the body was taken to a secure location, and allegedly the soldiers were told not to talk about this incident. One of the issues with this story though is that there's no evidence to back it up, and all we have today are these alleged claims. Interestingly, this story reminded many people of the red-haired giants of Lovelock Cave, saying that these beings have been reported for years all over the planet. Many of the Native American legends relate to the stories of tribes of giants that roamed the earth at one point in time. One such legend comes from the Paiute tribe that lived in the Nevada region 1,000 years ago. This remarkable legend is about a mysterious race of red-haired giants, also known as the CTK. According to the legend, these red-haired giants hunted humans and also ate them. These giants came to America from an unknown island. They crossed the oceans on rafts that they had built using fibrous plants. According to the native legend, the red-haired giants waged war on the tribe and other neighbouring tribes. They also terrorized the tribes for many years. Finally, they decided to unite against this fierce enemy race. Their unity and consistency in fighting the red-haired giants resulted in the death of the giant race. The last remaining giants ran away and sought shelter in a cave. The tribes then went to these caves and started a fire at the entrance. This was in order to burn and suffocate these giants inside the cave. After that, the tribes sealed the mouth of the cave. This legend of the red-haired giants could have easily been dismissed had there not been similar tales of cannibal red-haired giants among other Native American tribes. Interestingly, between the years of 1912 and 1924, something remarkable happened. A group of archaeologists from the University of California discovered a number of strange objects inside the Lovelock Cave. Among the objects were the mummies of red-haired giants. These mummies were 8 to 10 feet in height. As they were found in the Lovelock Cave, these giants were named the Lovelock Giants. The archaeologists also discovered a pair of giant sandals, far too large to fit an average human's feet. These sandals were 15 inches long and had signs that showed they were once worn by someone. Researchers also discovered a handprint on one of these stones in the Lovelock Cave. The imprint came from a massive hand. Many of the items found in the Lovelock Cave are today held in many different museums and private collections. In 1931, 2 large skeletons of red-haired giants were found buried close to the Lovelock Cave. These amazing discoveries have led several people to believe that at one point in time these giant humans did exist. Another interesting account is that of the Malmstrom AFB UFO. Our next mystery begins on March the 24th, 1967 in Roy, Montana. This was around 60 feet below ground in the missile launch bunker of Malmstrom Air Force Base, and this happened during the peak of the Cold War. This bunker was in control of 10,800 kilotons of nuclear warheads, which were codenamed the Minute Man 1. Sometime during the morning hours, the missile control men got a call from a terrified guard stationed above the bunker. They reported seeing a flying glowing red object that would accelerate and stop in an instant. It would then reverse its course, turn a 90-degree angle and seemingly defy all laws of physics. Those who saw the craft and heard the story said that it was unlike any man-made aircraft. As the men were informing the commander of the base what was going on, the unthinkable then happened. All 10 missile control lights switched from green to red. All 10 missiles were disabled at the exact same time. With this, America's missile shield was down. This terrified the men even more as this was a hot time during the Cold War, and the threat of nuclear retaliation was the only thing holding back both sides from annihilating each other. As the crew tried to get the missiles back online, they contacted another missile crew on the base. What they discovered was bone-chilling. The week before, the second crew also reported seeing the unexplainable glowing object hovering above the base. As the crews were conversing, the second crew's missiles were also disabled, leaving the entire base unarmed. Shortly after, the UFO flew away, never to be seen again. It took the base almost 24 hours to get the missiles back online. While missiles going red is not entirely impossible, as it does happen on a very rare occasion, all missiles going off at the same time is undeniably unlikely, and must have had some sort of outside influence. Another interesting incident is that of the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. While many think of the highly classified Area 51 as the home of alien research, and is the centre of the most extensive alien cover-up in the world, many might be surprised to hear Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. The Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Greene County sits in the location that was once Wilbur Wright's airfield and Farfield Aviation General Supply Depot, and is a complex of many buildings. The one of interest is that of Hangar 18. Hangar 18 is widely known by UFO enthusiasts, as it's said to be the location that the government hides the physical evidence of extraterrestrial contact. Whether it be the remains of spacecraft debris, extraterrestrial equipment, and allegedly even the corpses of aliens. Allegedly, there's a highly guarded top-level clearance inside the warehouse codenamed the Blue Room. Due to various sources, this location is home to the least classified information, and this comes from those that have worked there. It's widely believed that this Blue Room is a location where the United States government houses captured alien life, and conducts experiments on them which often lead to termination. The notoriety of Hangar 18 goes back to the infamous Roswell event, the alleged crash in July 1947 near Roswell, New Mexico. This was where there was a recorded press release issued by the Roswell Army Airfield, stating that the personnel inspected the crash of a flying disc, and that they sent it on to their headquarters for research. Shortly after, there was another press release from the Air Force Base in Fort Worth, Texas. It claimed to be the headquarters that the remains were sent to, not Wright-Patterson, and that the remains were only that of a weather balloon. However, throughout the years, the government's repeated use of the excuse of weather balloons and swamp gas became so cliché that much later, in 1994, the Air Force Base went on to say this was untrue, and that it was in reality testing a surveillance device that was designed to fly over nuclear research sites in the Soviet Union, which was equally backed by a complete lack of evidence. On multiple occasions, the Air Force had denied the rumours and stated there was never a building called Hangar 18 even close to the base. However, satellite imaging has shown that to be only semi-true, as there clearly is a structure named Building 18. However, many refuse to believe the misdirection away from Wright-Patterson, as it has been officially documented as the home of Project Sign, an initiative that was signed into action in July of 1947 and was dedicated to studying reports of UFO sightings. The project was converted into Project Grunge in 1949, and then into Project Blue Book in March 1952, which led to the Blue Room theory. It was officially stated that Project Blue Book was only designed to study crashed Soviet aircraft from the Korean War. However, Senator Barry Goldwater was recorded asking General Curtis Lee May for access into their base, with which Lee May was quoted saying, "Not only can't you get into it, but don't you ever mention it to me again." A very suspicious response to a request to see a bunch of shot down Soviet aircrafts. The last interesting report is that of the military encountering paranormal entities while on duty. Definitely seen as one of the strangest reports of modern day encounters with the Djinn was a military encounter in Iraq back in June 2003. An Iraqi soldier and other fighters were stationed at the second floor of a police department to assist with the attacks against the police. This was between the locals and the law enforcement of the city. A lot of people were confused of this sudden attacks by the police, and so one of the main purposes of the Iraqi army was assisting with safety to uncover the reasons as to why such disturbances were taking place. In one of the reports taken by an Iraqi military squad stationed for 24/7 surveillance, they claim that they encountered several Djinn, of whom were watching and patrolling the station. The report details that they believe the individuals to be Djinn, due to the fact they had glowing red eyes, and seemed completely unfazed by the bright surveillance lights used to blind passers, of whom attempted to get too close to the station at night. Shortly after the report was filed, the entire station was attacked and every soldier and police in the department passed away from injuries. It then circulated that the Djinn were at the centre of the attacks, and the majority of the disturbances were caused by the Djinn waging the plans of attack. After the report surfaced, the attack stopped, with many locals claiming the Djinn went back into hiding after they were discovered. So what do you make of these mysterious encounters? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.